And he's humble, but like GM of 3 different teams?
President.
Yeah. I mean, Thrashers, Braves, Nationals, Dodgers. I mean, the history's amazing. And now you're accused of ruining baseball by having the Dodgers with the payroll.
I don't think they thought this was how we were going to ruin baseball. I think we're pretty good stewards of the game. I think we, the Dodgers, have always brought a lot of attention to the game, and never before like what we are doing now. So it's been a great last few years, and I think our future is even brighter.
I mean, 12 straight years of making the postseason. What's it mean for your business, and especially with players like Ohtani?
Well, what it means for our business is everything. We're really fortunate to have an ownership group that actually puts money into the organization and helps us achieve the goals we want to do. We've been there since 2012. That year we did not make the playoffs, but every year since we have, and we will make it this year. Even based on last night's game, we still will. Our business has been really incredible in the last couple of years because of, where did he go? Our partner, Shohei Ohtani. This was one of our bobbleheads. He does help our business quite a bit, like no other athlete we have ever seen in the history of athletics, I believe.
I will say that I've been told plenty of times that this organization makes more money in sponsorship revenue from Japan because of Ohtani and other players than maybe up to 10 baseball teams make in terms of their total sponsorship revenue. I'm not saying you have to confirm or deny that, but it shows the volume of business you do in that marketplace.
Shohei delivers in many different ways: pitching, hitting, in the box office, in the sponsorship, wherever it is. Yes, he does very well for us. And then again, I think that it's helped baseball throughout the country. When you watch the Dodgers play wherever we're playing, every time Shohei's up at bat, you see Japanese signage right behind us. So it's helping the entire game. It's good for the game. It's good for the sport.
One of my favorite people, Janet Marie Smith, has done a lot in your venue over the years. For those who are going for the first time, Stan and Lon, what's so special about, what should they be sure to check out tonight?
First of all, we ever since we got there, we have what is now a 60-year-old building. We're never going to make it a new building, but we can make it a 21st century experience. And that's what we have done. Widened concourses, freshened up the bathrooms and the concession stands and all that. But when you go into the grand entrance, which is in center field, that's an innovation because we never had a grand entrance before. And you will see that when you come in that way, you are greeted by a statue of Sandy Koufax and Jackie Robinson, and then 2.5 acres of food and entertainment and music and history, and it's jammed all the time. That's a particular innovation that Janet spearheaded that is just in the last few years. So by all means, if you get there early and take some time to go through the center field plaza because it's unlike anything we've seen here before. And we can't imagine how we ever did business without it because we use it 365 days a year. People come in, sponsors come in, we have different events and different things going on there all the time. And we have tours, as Lon will tell you, every day of the year, 4 different languages, 12 tours a day. And a lot of that was spearheaded by Shohei's arrival.
What's special for you in the venue?
Well, what Stan was touching on is, it was Janet and Stan spearhead this. Our building used to operate as 5 separate buildings. We had different levels, and you couldn't really get from one level to the other. You couldn't go to the pavilion. And now you can circumvent the building 360 degrees, which is really the way people watch sporting events now. They don't really sit in their seat the whole time. They kind of explore the buildings, and they get their food from different places, and they kind of hang out in different areas, and we now have that. As Stan mentioned, it's a 60-year-old plus building. When we first got there, I think we were told if you plug in one more fan, the whole thing might blow up. Last season, we did another build. We got a new player who said, I don't want to tell the story. Stan, tell the batting cage story.
While we were recruiting Roki Sasaki, we were deep into the planning for modernizing our clubhouse, which we had begun planning for the year before when we were recruiting Shohei. And it was late in the game, and Roki asked the question, are you going to have, fancy Japanese toilets? And for any of you who have ever been overseas, particularly Japan, these are real works of art and works of function. And I said, well, why do you ask? Is that important? He says, oh yeah, that's really important. And I said, oh yeah, then we're having them in there. And so overnight we changed our plans, and now the entire locker room has these fancy Japanese toilets which come with, consoles, and he knew how to work them. And our first day back after our trip, I walked him into the bathroom. I showed him, we've got the Japanese toilets, just like we always planned.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, we didn't know he didn't stand the president bathrooms after that.
Yeah.
But it was also about, we also built a new clubhouse last year, because when we were signing Shohei, one of the things he noticed, we only have one batting cage. So we had to rebuild our clubhouse anyhow. We had done it about 12 years ago, starting to get small, even though it's much larger than you can imagine. So we built this, and we added a second batting cage. And in the off season, Shohei came into the office, and he went 50 for 50 and won the MVP. And Stan says to him, well, how can it be better with two batting cages? And he answered, Stan, the batting cage is my home. So his home is there, and he hit another 50 home runs.
I couldn't argue with that, right? Okay.
You guys get to yes pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So a lot of conversation about revenue all the last couple of days. You guys have both been in the business a number of years. Steve Ballmer asked, what's the next big revenue stream? He's trying to focus on that. What is the next big revenue stream in sports? He was talking about sponsorships and ticketing. Could be limited after a while. You can only grow them so much.
Well, maybe so, but not for baseball, because we have lagged behind internationally, which means we have so much potential, particularly with the advent of new delivery platforms, social media, TV, streaming, little dancing holograms, whatever it is. There's a whole world out there that we have yet to exploit, but because of the presence of international players the last few years, there's greater opportunity now than ever. There's greater interest and appeal internationally for baseball than ever before. And I think that's the next great place for us to strike.
To that point, Netflix doing the deal for the World Cup of Baseball in Japan, certainly that's driving some of the interest like that. And so do you feel globalization is your best new revenue stream?
Well, for us, it's been a revenue stream. Since we signed Shohei Ohtani, we've developed a very strong business in Japan, and it only keeps growing. I think as you look at baseball and the innovations that have happened in baseball, speeding up the game, the shot clock, next year with the robo umpires that are possibly coming in there, I think all of these help people internationally really to better understand our game. As you speed up the games, and you see that in every sport, it does help. That will help with the globalization of the game quite a bit. And again, I know that the league's spending an enormous amount of time on how to grow this internationally. You just look at, we went the last 2 seasons and opened up our season 2 years ago in Korea and this year in Japan, and they were both tremendous success for everybody.
And so to that point, what you're talking about in terms of just growing the game, growing the fan base, when your fans' reaction to the pace of the play and to the changes to baseball, bottom line, you feel the game on the field's in a good spot.
Oh, for sure. And we've demonstrated a willingness to make changes on the fringes that improve the sport. I think everyone should be aware, wow, they're really listening, they're paying attention, and they're trying to make it better for fans. And I think you will see more of that coming in the next few years.
Once it's Commissioner Stan Kasten, what's the one thing you would change to baseball?
First thing he would do is fire that commissioner, because he wants nothing to do with that job. But I think I would focus on the things we already are focusing on, and that is using technology and all the new technologies. AI is one tool, but there are more, both on the field and in business. Expand our international delivery of our things. And another thing that we should watch is, and the current commissioner is really working on this too, we need to improve our relations with our players even more than we have recently, because that would unlock so many opportunities for us to improve the game, and it would be good for the players, it would be good for the teams, but really good for the fans. If we got that better understanding between teams and players, a whole lot of good things could happen.
You could grow the game collectively.
Yeah.